Now, you've said that the Leave side of last year's referendum campaign never made it clear that we have to leave the membership of the single market. You said that. And when you were on the Sunday Project, we ran a bit of tape and gate trial. I want to run it again just to see if your action's still the same, because we looked at what people had said on the Leave and Remain side about the single market. Let's just refresh our memories.
The British public would be voting, if we leave, would be to leave the EU and leave the single market.
Should we come out the single market?
I think that is almost certainly would be the case, yes.
Do you want us to stay inside the single market, yes or no?
No, we should be outside the single market.
I had Michael Gove in that chair and I said, after Brexit, will we be in the European single market, yes or no? And he said no.
And he was right.
So we won't be in the European single market.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd be out of the single market. That's the reality. Britain would be quitting the single market.
You see, people watch, when I showed that to you last time, you said, oh, these are just sound bites.
But I'll tell you why I still disagree with you, because we didn't receive... See, I'm afraid I think there is. I mean, you and I are just going to carry on disagreeing.
No, I'm not disagreeing. People will
different...
think when they see that, actually, they did make it pretty clear we'd leave.
But no one received in the country, you didn't, I didn't, no one watching this received a manifesto from the Brexit campaign saying this is the kind of Brexit that we propose to you. We didn't have one with Kate Hoey, Nigel Farage, Boris Johnson, Michael Gove on a cross-party basis saying we want to leave and we want to leave on this basis. And by the way, that's why you were quite rightly asking them in interviews in television studios, because, of course, prior to that, people like Owen Paterson had said it would be mad to leave the single market. Nigel Farage and Dan Hannan had advocated the Norwegian approach, which retains our membership of the single market. In other words, it was debatable. I agree that we got those answers. I could hear them myself. But it was never put to the British people in a clear way. And so I'm afraid I still can't accept that a number of individual statements under pressure in a sort of question and answer session in a television studio constitutes an open proposition to the British people about what Brexit means in practice.
But you didn't seem to be in much doubt either that we'd be leaving the single market if we voted to leave. I mean, this is what you said at an Intelligence Squared debate. Let's see this.
To be fair, the Brexit campaign have, I think, come clean now and said we dislike it so much we actually want to tear up Margaret Thatcher's Single European Act. We don't want to have anything to do with the single market either. I think that is a devastatingly self-harming thing to do economically, and I wouldn't want it on my conscience.
So even you were clear. You said they'd made it clear that they wanted to tear up the single market arrangement.
But the problem is you are taking a number of statements from politicians on rival points of the debate in the final stage of the referendum, and I think describing that as an open proposition to the British people in the most important referendum in our lifetime. What I was reacting to was that under pressure in interviews, some Brexiteers, not all of them, crucially not all of them, were saying that they felt that this meant we would leave the single market. The British people never had a clear proposition put to them as one, on a cross-party basis, by the Brexit campaign and what it meant. And by the way, invoking what David Cameron and George Osborne said is the oddest thing of all, is because you're having the winning side of a referendum quoting the words of the losing side of the referendum for what they themselves were not clear about.
I mean, if the British people watch, and David Cameron says we'd have to leave the single market. George Osborne said we'd have to leave. Michael Gove said we'd have to leave. Andrea Leadsom said we'd have to leave. Boris Johnson said. Nick Clegg said it's clear we'd have to leave. What's your argument?
Maybe we're going to make finally some progress. Guess what? People don't watch. They don't watch the interviews between you and me. They don't watch Andrew Marr on Sunday morning all the time. Actually, what you do in a referendum...
They don't read manifestos either.
We've got it today, a very important moment. The principal party of opposition is publishing a manifesto, and you quite rightly are scrutinising that manifesto because you accept it is a convention in a democracy that the two sides, or multiple sides in a debate, put forward a coherent plan for what they want to do. That did not happen in the run-up to the referendum. In fact, what we did know, the one thing we knew, which people did take notice of, which was not snatched conversations in television studios, was a socking great big lie on the side of a bus of 350 million...
That's another issue, and we went through them with that. But my simple point on this is that even you were clear that if we voted to leave, we left membership of the single market.
What you saw me clipped, let's not mistranslate things, was I was saying that some Brexiteers had admitted that...
No, the Brexit campaign, you said, had come clean.
Well, there was no manifesto from the Brexit campaign. I still don't know. It is quite remarkable, almost a year since the referendum. I still don't know, because I still can't get a clear answer, either from the government or indeed from Brexiteers and the Labour Party and elsewhere, what they want to do in the customs union, what they mean by a free trade agreement, which apparently now, we've been told since the referendum, will deliver us miraculously the exact same benefits, in the words of David Davis, as being inside the single market. I think all of this is specious nonsense.
Right.
And of course, if I get worked up about it, it's only because, I'll tell you why, I don't think they ever came clean with the British people.
Well, you just said they had come clean, actually, but never mind. I mean, are you...
In the form in which the mass of people who voted could actually, be fairly described as being informed by a cross-party campaign group.
All right. But you're losing the argument, aren't you? The latest YouGov poll now has 68% of people supporting Brexit. Even the so-called re-leavers, people who voted to remain, but now just think you should get on with it. You're in a minority now.
Oh, no, I totally accept that. This is wholly predictable, that even people who voted remain, there'll be lots of... And I come across them a lot. It's a very pragmatic British attitude. They sort of say, come on, move along.
We didn't like it, but let's do it.
No, absolutely. And I totally understand that. By the way, those are exactly the same people who may well, in the next year or two, change their minds when they feel that the reality of Brexit is not all that it's cracked up to be. But of course, I would fully expect that some, maybe many Remain voters who don't feel as strongly about it as others sort of say, well, come on, we've had that argument, let's move on. No, I think that's not...
Let me play one other clip. It doesn't involve you. It's your, I think he's now again your Treasury spokesman, certainly your colleague in government, Vince Cable. Let's have a look at this.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.